To turn on the jet, you come over here to the, well, first thing, go to your back button. That'll light up your deal right here, your display. You go to your jet button, you hit them. You got one jet that'll come on, one pump in low. Hit it again, it'll go into high. A little low in water, but that's all right. We'll shut it off if it gets too much. Hit the second one. It'll kick the second pump on.
All right. Now, how come jet number 2 doesn't have a low setting?
One pump is just to run everything in low. One of them just a high speed.
Okay.
It's just the way they build them. So
okay.
We're going to cut them off because we're blowing a little bit of water out of here. So we're going to go that. Or you can come over here and hit the jet max, and that'll keep you from hitting any one of them more than one time.
What, hitting any one of them more than one?
Yeah, like this one here. If you hit that one there, he turns them all on high just automatically.
Okay.
And there he goes. That way you don't have to spend your time doing that.
Okay.
So go to jets off. Then after that, you have your options button here. The options button gives you the temperature and the setup. If you hit the soft key on that one there, it gives you your temperature, it gives you your blue and your red. The red takes and will actually, well, you got your temperature locked right now because it says on, so we unlock it. If you were to match this now, it's going to go up to 104. You hold it down for 3 to 5 seconds, it'll turn red, go to 105. Hold it down again, it'll go up to 106 degrees. When he does that, he comes down real quick. So you had it set on 100, and then you had your temp lock on, so that way nobody can mess with your temperature except you.
Okay, now if we wanted to go to 102, let's say.
Yes, sir.
We turn the temp lock off.
Yes, sir.
We go up to 102, hold it 3 seconds.
No, it'll go to 104 automatically. And then if you want it to go to 105 or 6, then you'll hold it down for 3 to 5 seconds.
So turn the temp lock off. It'll send it to 104.
Yes, sir. You can take it up to 104.
All right, let's say I wanted it at 102.
Okay, you'll hit the down button there, bring it down to 102. You don't have to lock it every time, but if you got people coming in and you don't want them to mess with your temperature, then you can take and come back and lock it.
Okay.
So if you hit your back button, you'll come back, there's a setup. You have your spa lock, and it's off. If you hit it and turn it on, then that locks all the keys, so nobody can turn your spa on, nothing works.
Okay.
Okay, and then you would hit these 2 buttons to unlock it. Okay. So summer timer is
now now the spa lock is off.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way all the buttons work.
All right.
The summer timer is off. The summer timer is a little bitty pump down there in the bottom. That's the heart of this system. He runs your maintenance on your deal. He keeps circulating water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. If you get a temperature above 106 degrees, then you may want to take and go back and you may want to go back and turn him off. You've got him off right now, and so if he gets too hot and absorbs temperature, that little pump, if you turn him off, he runs for 8 hours, and then he'll shut off. That way he's not drawing any heat from any other source except outside. Okay. And then there's not anything you can do about that because it's just outside ambient temperature, and these gather it up. So if you turn it on.
Do you usually have that on, summer timer?
No.
Okay.
Most people don't. You have yours underneath the cover here, so that's gonna be where he's gonna be most comfortable at. If it did start heating up to 107, 8, 9, 10, then you might want to turn him on, and that way he'll cut off, run for 8 hours, and then cut off. Okay, so we go to more. These are for your vanishing act is for a salt cell system, which we're not running the salt cell system on this, so it's off. Auto clean cycle, you can come in here and set this up where it cleans, but this spa runs 6 gallons a minute through that little bitty pump on a 300-gallon deal. Every 5 hours, he's already rolled your water over inside of your system.
So just leave that on off?
Just leave that on off.
Okay.
Your daily lights or lights on the corners that can come on, that you can set them to come on. I suggest you don't do that because the June bugs and the crickets and everything will start getting gathered around here, and then you'll have skunks, snakes, and everything else coming up to your spa.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go back. And this right here shows you have a lock, and that's for your temperature. If you had another lock there, if you set the spa lock, you'd have 2 locks there. Okay, so that's what that one there is for. The lights, you come over here on the lights, you've got a color deal up here that you can mash it and go down through your light colors that change inside of your spa. And then you have a color wheel. If you leave it on it, they just slowly rotate through the deals itself, the colors itself.
Okay.
So you can turn it off and lock it on one color or whatever. Or you can turn it on blue and they'll stay blue. The exterior lights, you hit it over here. The exterior lights, they'll come on at whatever color you've got this one set up over here for. If you hit your daily lights and turn them on, they will be staying on all the time on the edge of your spa here.
Well, what's the difference between exterior lights and just regular spa lights?
The daily lights will be where the spa lights are the inside lights. That's on the inside. The outside daily lights are the ones on the outside, and exterior lights.
And that's the ones you say keep them off.
Yeah, keep them off.
Okay.
Because if you don't, like I say, bugs will start coming in, and they will find a way under your cover, and it will be nasty in here when you open it up.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to get out the dimmer. All he does is you hit him, and he just takes your mood down on your lights and stuff. Okay, so you turn the dimmer off, or you can leave it on 3. Lights, hit that. That turns everybody off, and that way you don't have to go back through everybody and turn them off at one at a time.
And the exterior lights are the same thing as the daily lights?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just called that for
Okay.
different reasons. I don't know. Your clean button. He has this soft button right here. If you hit him, you want to add chemicals to your spa and you're ready to go in, you can take and put your chemicals inside of your lid right here. You'll take this clean button, you'll hit it, it comes on, turns your spa on for 10 minutes, mixes up your chemicals, mixes them all through the spa and everything for you, and shuts off automatically in 10 minutes.
All right, well, the only chemicals I'm using are the chlorine, what do you call those? You know, the
You got your chlorine
granules,
and the chlorine granules and stuff. So that's all you need for a spa. The spa, most of the time, if you're in it a lot, you might have to put a couple of teaspoons in a week, maybe one teaspoon every 2 or 3 days or something like that. If you're not using it that often, go ahead and put some chemicals in it. Put in 2 teaspoons or 3 if you're going to be gone for 2 weeks or 3 or vacation or whatever, not going to use it. Put you about 2 or 3 in there, teaspoons or a half a cap, and that'll hold it till probably the next time you need to use it.
Do I scatter the granules in the water?
Never scatter the granules in the water, because if you do and you get in there with a new swimsuit on, you're going to have white spots on it. Always put them in your filters here. They'll slowly dissolve.
With the pumps running?
No, you don't have to have, well, whenever you do, put your chemicals in here, hit the clean button, and then it'll pre-dissolve it, scatter it all through the deal, through the spa, instead of just having one little spot. So in 30 minutes, you've already totally cleaned it, so it's pretty much all dispersed inside of the spa.
So you lift the lid, dump the granules in there, and hit clean.
Yep, your chemicals will go right in here. On this, you actually have 2 different kinds of lids in here. You have this gray lid. He runs for that little bitty, what they call a cert pump. You undo him. There's a mineral cartridge stick in here. He has to be replaced every 4 months. He has nickel and silver and stuff, minerals inside there that come in contact with water and kill bacteria. He drops them down in there in that gray hole. That's the only one he'll fit in. Put your filter back on. Put your lid back on it.
Does that screw in or just set in?
The filter just sets down there and the lid holds it down.
Okay.
This other one here is for your big pumps, also shared with that one there for your second pump. So those 2 right there, your chemicals will get pulled in there, dissolved up into your spa, and dispersed and you don't end up with white spots on your swimsuits and stuff.
All right, how do you take those filters out to clean them? Which one is the one that should be cleaned?
The gray one is the one that's going to be the one that needs to be cleaned the most, because he runs that little circ pump that runs 24/7. You can tell on him he's kind of getting a little bit of color to him now, so he's doing his job. You just take your garden hose, your spray nozzle, takes 3 minutes, spray them all off real good.
From the outside?
Yes, from the outside there, and just put it right back in there then.
So that gray thing with those minerals in it, that doesn't need to be cleaned?
No, no. He'll eventually just wear out with water going over him and stuff, and he'll start calcifying up on you, which means that he's run out of stuff, and the little ceramic balls inside of it, they're just there then.
Do I need to clean
the big filter? Clean it both. Well, you need to clean the small one if you used a whole lot every other week, once a month for both of them. That way he'll actually be getting cleaned twice a year.
You need to clean the small one.
Well, the gray one, the small pump filter, the gray one, clean it every other week if you're in it a lot.
That's that mineral thing?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you do have to clean that?
Not the mineral thing, just the filter.
That's a gray filter?
Yes. Take the gray filter out, clean it every other week.
So the one on the left is
the gray filter.
the big filter, you're calling it the gray filter?
Yes.
Okay.
The one on the right is a white top and stuff, so he'll take and be cleaned, because he just runs when the big pumps are on. So at least once a month, take him out and hose him off real good also.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the deals on that. They're pretty simple to take care of. We'll go back, hit that deal there.
After your dumper chemicals hit clean.
Yeah, hit your clean button. He'll automatically kick the big pump on and run for 10 minutes, automatically cut itself off. You can notice that by this right here. That tells you, that flashing water sign tells you that you're in a timer mode. Okay, because whenever you hit your big pumps over here, put him up high, and then you go back, you'll see it's not flashing. That means you actually turned it on, and they're going to run for several hours before they cut off on their own. Okay, so we're going to take all off. That cuts everybody off. If you don't want to go through all the deals and your lights and stuff, you got those on, you got your pumps on, and your jet maxed out and stuff, you hit your back button, you hit the all off, that cuts everything off with one easy button. That way you don't have to go through there and turn your lights off, turn your pumps off. That all off cuts off everybody inside the hot tub.
But it keeps letting the hot tub do
Yeah,
its
the hot tub
scenes.
will. Yeah, the hot tub will keep doing his little thing, keep doing his little cleaning. He don't shut off for nobody. The next deal is out here on the front of your hot tub. These little lights, the blue light comes on whenever you first start up your hot tub. He's telling you all your limit switches, everything, all your safety switches, everything are working good. This one over here will flash. He's telling you he's warming up. When it gets to the temperature you have it set on, this one will turn green, and then you can get in your hot tub. And so if these are flashing, that means you're not doing your job keeping your chemicals clean, and your little filter, gray filter there, is choked up, and that circ pump has shut everybody off. He says, ain't nobody gonna work because I'm not clean. So you have to keep him clean because he's the heartbeat there.
So to clean those filters, I don't need to shut down the power to the...
No.
Okay.
You don't have to shut down the power to it.
Just take the filter out,
Take the filter out, hose it off
in.
real good, put it right back in.
Okay. That white filter on the right over there.
Yes, sir.
When you pulled that cap off of it and pulled the big filter out, did you have to screw that cap back in something?
Yes, everything has a screw on it. Both of them are screwed in. They got threads down inside there. And they had to screw down on top of that little fitting right there.
All right, and when I do my test strip, if I need to add some alkaline or the pH stuff.
If the alkaline and the pH are off, they kind of run close to each other. They stay about the same. So watch your pH more than the alkalinity. because the pH, he's the one, if you let him get too high, he'll start throwing off stuff and you'll start scaling up on the inside of your spa. You will feel kind of a sandpapery feel on it. That means that your pH is high. There's a bottle that comes with it that says pH down. Put you a half a cap in there, let it run for a day, check it the next day, see if you're back in balance with the deal. If your alkalinity's high, he will come down with the pH. Okay.
Oh, that's right. There's no alkalinity chemical.
No.
pH is okay.
No, they're both the same. They're just running buddies. You know that whatever one's doing, the other one's doing. Your chlorine should be between a 1 and a 3. If you have a strong chlorine smell when you first open your spa, go in the house, grab you a glass of tea or whatever, or a glass of water, come back outside with your cover off, it's gassed off, and then you can get in it and go on. That way you don't have that heavy chlorine smell.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Do me a favor and grab me a test strip, and I want to watch you do the test. Tell me what you're seeing.
These are test strips. They have an OK label on them to where it's the best color. When you match these colors up, that gives you your readings on where your stuff is at. You have a pH, it should be a 7.2 and a 7.8. 7.5 is what they call a perfect water, which would be somewhere between those two colors right there. So the hardness, you're not really worried about that so much in the spa. And this top one here is for a bromine. There are people who do use bromine. They don't like that smell of chlorine, but it has a different type of smell to it that I'm not fond of. But chlorine, I like the smell of chlorine because it's a smooth, clean smell.
And Andrea said, kind of on the test strip, ignore what the chlorine read in the test strip is.
Well, you need to know what it is. Your water needs a little bit of chlorine in it right now to clear it up.
You can tell it just by
Yep,
looking?
and just tell by looking. It needs it's a little hazy. So we're going to take and put this down in there for a couple of seconds, pull it up. Little drop off of it there. Your chlorine is this second one right here. Of course, you don't have any in it. Your pH or your alkalinity is up there around 80, so he's good, somewhere between 60 and 80 actually. Your pH is going to be somewhere between that right there, so you're all right on it. You just mainly need chlorine in the spa right now.
All right, I want to show you adding some chlorine.
All right.
Don't just do like a capful.
Well, all different. There's different reasons you do use different deals. If you're going to be in it every night, you don't want to add a cap full ever so often. But since you have none right now and your water's a little off color, we're going to go ahead and put about a cap full in there to get you back on line again. Always, like I say, put it inside your skimmer deal there. Come over here, hit your back button, your menu comes back up, hit your clean button, and he'll throw the pouring water off in there. He'll take that, dissolve it, and within about a minute you'll start smelling chlorine coming through your system.
So the cleaning, it takes about 10 minutes, right? The cleaning?
Yeah.
And after the cleaning is over, I don't touch anything, I just put the cover back on.
Just put the cover back on. Again, while it's doing that, you'll see your little deal here flashing, and that tells you you're on a clean cycle where he's going to run for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So your other chemicals are balanced, so you're in good shape on it. Just needs this.
Now, if my chemicals are out of balance, if I need to add that pH up or pH down,
Yes.
do I pour that in the same place and get clean again?
Yes, sir. You do. Anytime you add any chemicals to it, always put it in your deal there, in your filter compartment, and clean it. So that pretty much concludes you.
All right, so in summary, I'm gonna get over here and the lighting is better. In summary,
Yes, sir.
2 people using the spa, once a day for 10 minutes, what would you do as far as doing a cleaning cycle or adding chlorine?
Well, check your chlorine. If you're using it once a day, 10 to 30 minutes or an hour, it doesn't matter. Every 2 or 3 days, take them chemical, check your test strip, check your chlorine, kick it up a little bit if you need to, and go from there. Keep your water, clean and clear and sparkling and smells good and sanitized. Between the strip and the mineral cartridge in here and your chlorine and stuff, that will help you do that. The mineral cartridge kills bacteria as it's pulled down by it. The chlorine kills everything else that's showing up in it.
So keep the gray mineral cartridge, wash that about once a week.
Yes, sir.
The big white gray filter on the left.
Once a month.
Once a month.
Yes, sir. Now you're, like I say, you're a little bit low on water right this second because you can tell we're getting splashed a little bit, but
Should I drag a hose over and add some water?
Well, most of the time if you're going to be in it, you're going to raise the water level up. You're displacing water, so. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit more in it, just so you don't get wet all the time.
Like another inch, 2 inches?
Yeah, about an inch of water.
All right, how many gallons are in there right now?
I don't know on this particular spa, probably 380 or somewhere around in there, okay. 380, 385.
Okay. So the water should be crystal clear.
Yes, sir.
And if it's not,
you probably need to add chlorine to it.
All right, what if after 10 minutes of cleaning what we just did, there's no change?
Well, it's not going to change that quick. It's going to keep it's going to keep circulating, and it'll get pulled out of there by that filter.
Okay. Yeah. So it'll be a loss.
Yeah.
All right, now this just came on and said 101.
Well, that's what you got it set for.
Oh.
Or maybe it was on 100 first, and so it heated up 1 degree without the top on it. So I think we got it set for. Let's see. Yeah, we got it set for 102, so it come up from 100 to 101 with the top off, and we're sitting here watching it.
Let's back it back down to 100.
Okay. Temp lock on. We're going to take it off. We're going to back it back down to 100. Lock you back up again, and so
that's it.
That's it. Heat already there, so he'll cool off a minute while we got the top off, and we're good. So. The back button always takes you back to your home page. After so many minutes, it'll blank out just to go out, and then you can hit that, and it'll come up with that right there.
So after it's clean, it'll.
Yep.
Put the cover back on it.
Yeah, you can leave the cover on it and everything. That's all fine and great. Oh, one important deal we didn't talk about is your water feature. When you have your water feature on, do not leave it on when you get out of the spa, because you can add water to your cover and then you can't pull it off. It'll get waterlogged. So always be sure and turn that off. So. And I'm gonna turn this off.
Turn the clean off?
Yeah, I'm turning the clean off because we're getting drowned over here. So.
Okay, so I should turn it on again after you leave?
Yeah, I'd turn it back on after that because it's probably already got, yeah. And you're starting to foam up a little bit, so that means you need a little defoamer in there to take care of that.
Okay.
But besides that, that's pretty much got you figured out.
Okay. And that answers a lot of questions. All right, lift that lid and look at the instructions on the lid and tell me if there's anything in there I should ignore or pay special attention to, because it's little stuff that says once a week do this, once a month do that. Does all that look good to you?
The prior to, I wouldn't add my chlorine prior to getting into it, not whenever you're always keeping it up. Weekly maintenance, keeping chlorine in it, yes. Monthly maintenance, clean the filters and everything, except for the one for the gray one. Clean it every 2 weeks. It'll make it last longer. Filters will last a long time if you maintain them. If you don't, then if you use them and abuse them, you're going to be buying them all the time.
So the gray tiny filter.
Yes.
The little bitty plastic mineral filter.
Yeah.
That's once a week?
Not the little gray mini filter, just the outside big paper filter. You never clean the little gray stick.
You never clean the little gray.
No, little gray
Plastic.
stick. Yeah, stick. Because it is a disposable product. All he's doing is just being eat off there as he has been dissolved off there as pools.
Only clean the big round
cartridges. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So that ought to get you where you want to go and how you want to run it there.
Okay. So to add water, I just drag garden hose over and just
Yes, sir.
put water in.
Just add water to it as you need. I would say I would keep it up just above the top of those nozzles back there.
Okay.
Because you can see the water rocking as it's running and stuff. So that'll keep it from blowing up over here.
When would you drain it and refill this with fresh water?
If you maintain it, you won't have to do that maybe once a year.
Really?
Yes, sir. They're highly efficient on keeping themselves clean and stuff. So you keep the filters clean, the system itself will stay clean. So the water will.
Well, I see some stuff floating around.
Yeah, well, you got bugs and stuff, and that's just, you live out here in the country, so you're gonna have that.
The filters will take care of that.
Yep, the big filter will pull him in there and drown him in a little bit, and he'll be caught up in it, and
Okay.
he'll be clean. As you can tell, he's circulating right now just from what you got off that little pump running by itself.
Okay.
So, like I say, in 30 minutes time, at 6 gallons a minute, he's cleaned half of it. In an hour's time, he's cleaned the whole system. So he's run all that water through that filter.
Okay.
So every 24 hours, you're getting turned over several times.
No matter what.
No matter what. So
Okay.
he's your heartbeat. So. But anyway, that's all I can help you with.
Okay.
Unless you got any more questions.
And these are intensity to the jets.
Those are the air jets. You can turn them on and give you more power behind your sitting inside of your spa there. This main one here, you turn him to the right, you'll get more pressure off one side of your system. You turn him to the left, you'll get more off the other side of the system. Turn him in the middle, everybody gets something.
Okay. Is that it?
Yes, sir. Unless you got any more questions.
Last question. What is the absolute most common mistake most spa owners make?
They do not clean their filters often enough. They call me, my lights are flashing. Mine's on 115 degrees. If yours is 115 degrees and your lights are flashing on the front, you didn't clean your little filter, now you've either burned up your high limit switch or whatever because you didn't go out there and clean your deal, and I get really ill about that.
Now clean the little filter.
Well, I keep calling the little filter the gray filter, the big gray filter inside, the paper filter. I keep calling it the little one because he's the only one that uses that little bitty pump.
Wait a minute, you said don't clean that one.
I'm gonna have to take that gray one out of there, aren't I?
Show me
Okay.
what it's supposed to clean. All right,
Clean
that.
this.
Okay.
Okay, this only. You have the big one here for the gray
Okay.
one, and then you have the big one here for the big pumps.
The only reason they call it gray is because it's got a gray
It's got a
cap
gray
on it.
cap on it, and that's the one you know to clean every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because he runs the little pump down there.
Okay.
Okay.
But that other little stick down there,
Little
don't clean
the
it.
little mineral cartridge, you
Don't
don't,
even
worry
bring
about
it out.
Don't even bring him out.
All right.
Not for 4 months.
Clean this every.
Yeah, clean this one every 2 weeks, the other one every month.
All right. And that's the biggest mistake people make.
Yes, sir. That's the biggest mistake. They'll forget about it, won't use it for a month. Well, nobody was in it. Well, it doesn't matter. He's still killing algae. He's still cleaning whatever's in your deal, and so he's going to still get dirty. So that's the biggest mistake people make right there.
You added granules because you said the water's a little cloudy.
Yes, sir.
When should I come out here and go, oh, it looks better?
Well, probably this evening or tonight, it ought to look better.
If it doesn't,
If it doesn't, you might need a little more. Test it and see if your chlorine level's up. If it's not, then, because sometimes water will take more chlorine, some water will than others. And so they're just kind of where it comes from, your water comes from, depends on kind of where your water stands as far as being clear. Okay. Also, you have it underneath the deal, so it's not going to be that bright, shiny, crystal clear, because you're not out in the sun where the sun shines through it. So that's another little deal you got to kind of think about also. If it was sitting out here in the sun, it's like a swimming pool. It'd be bright and sparkly. you'd see it more because the sun's reflecting off into it. Yours is up underneath the deal like 90% of them are, 95% of them are. So it's going to have a little more dull look to it because the sun cannot reach it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I shouldn't expect it to be crystal clear.
No, not really crystal clean, clear.
Okay.
No. It's going to have it just because of what's above it.
But you know for a fact you can still get better than that.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
get better than this. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just needed more chlorine in it, and it'll clean up better than this. So that should be it, because what the little green is, or the hint of green is algae, you know, and that's why people need to clean that filter every 2 weeks.
Don't need to mess with the panel when I'm cleaning the filter. Don't
Nope.
turn off the power. Just grab the filter and clean it.
Yes, sir.
The one on the left. Okay.
Yes, sir.